Yeah, today we're doing a live stream, and the first thing I have prepared for us is a quick context clip. So this is Andor, season 1, episode 9, and this is the explanation for why the riots started, and I did not understand it. I mean, it has to be a one-off.
Okay.
Here we go.
What happened down on 2? They made a mistake. A man who was just released on 4 ended up back on 2 the next day. Word got out on the floor and then they killed them all. If he was released, you heard me. No one's getting out, are they? Not now.
Okay, so the situation is a guy on floor 2 was released, and then he ended up on 4, and then he told the other people, or he ended up back on 2. So the details of the floor I didn't understand, but what I understood it to be is that this prison doesn't actually let people out.
Okay.
And so then all the prisoners like, we're being sold a lie. We're never going to actually get our freedom. So let's rebuild. There's F it. There's no point in us being good boys anymore because we're going to die here. Right? But
Okay.
my thought was this has to be a one-time thing, right? Because if it really is the system where we recycle prisoners, when you take a prisoner from level 1 to level 9, so far away, so there's no communication, like they're not going to know anyone, but they still arrive in 9. They're like, hey, I've been in prison already. We're not getting out. So I guess what I'm saying is, wouldn't this scenario happen really quickly? Like, how can this prison be operating this as a principle?
So you're saying as they get shuffled, prisoners get shuffled around from different levels, they would be like, hey, I'm from level 2.
Right.
And then
like you may be
eventually
a new face, and so it's like you put a person in a new face in a new location. The new location people, they don't recognize you, and so you could potentially shovel people around without them knowing that they've already been in prison. But the person who was already in prison, they got shoveled into the new place. Like they have their own knowledge. They know that they were already in prison. They could just tell that to people.
right, especially if they were told that they were going to get released and then they ended up in a
Yeah.
different level, they'd be like, they told me I was going to get released and now I am not. Plus, the Empire would have to make sure there's no rumors in the prison or in the guards. Like that would just be very tight-lipped.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how this shoveling prisoners from different floors could happen even one time, right? Like I think this is the only time that this happened.
Well, maybe there's like level 1 is the level that everyone gets shuffled off to. Everybody in level 1 is like, oh, I told us going to be released. And then
that would be a workaround. It's like you could spend your time on 9 or 7 or whatever, but whenever you served your time on those levels, you get finally shoveled into 1, and 1 gets no communication with everyone else. And so even though 1 they know the truth that you're never going to escape, 1 can't do anything about it because they're quarantined off. I'd be okay with that.
Okay. Still, then level 1 in our scenario here has a lot of incentive to riot.
Just riot. Just riot all the time. Like,
right, because you're stuck.
Okay, that was it.
Okay, kind of a weird prison system.
Yeah.
I
would also be okay with if they get shipped off to a different like vertical column prison completely, and those people in that separate prison, I mean, that place would riot because they know what the real deal is,
right?
But at least it protects that knowledge from all these people. I just didn't see how this could be a systematic thing instead of just a one-off.
Right. It feels like you couldn't do many transfers until people started to figure it out. Like, people aren't.
I mean, even just the first one, the guys they're like, hey, you're new here. And he's like, I've already been in this prison. Like, I would crumble right away.
Right away. Rumors would fly. People had nothing else to do but talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, on to our next topic. Next topic are our viewer community comments. So here in this video, this is a video we did for The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 1. And we talked about the modern excavator, how it feels out of place because is it 30 years after the apocalypse? Like this thing's still running?
That's crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So we have a comment from Alexander. Hey, nice. Alexander, brushes go dead after 2 years max. Okay. Oh, but this is not brushes, it's in plants. Brushes is in the motors. Yeah, definitely. If you're using it, they're wearing out. Good luck to fix that. Hydraulics also. Valves need. Oh, let's get this bigger. Whoa, too big.
Whoa.
Okay. Valves need clear and viscous oil, otherwise orifices get clogged in. Yep, that's right. You got to cycle the oil, otherwise you get little bits of grit in there, and then it's not lubricating; it's grinding stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, old equipment can hold 20 years max. So after 25 years without at least oil changes, this puppy is dead one for sure. Motor seizure even more likely to happen first. 100% agree.
So I guess my big thing about this is I think all these things are possible if you have access to, the supplies and the parts and the fluids.
Sure.
You can just continue to maintain, keep that thing chugging.
Mm-hmm,
But this is the apocalypse. Where are they getting
right.
all these things?
Right.
So I didn't know about the brushes going dead after 2 years. That seems like a short time, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, I learned this from my, what's it called? The KitchenAid. My KitchenAid, like my stand mixer. I was like, why aren't you working right? And then I looked it up, and there are screws on the side of the mixing head where you take it out, you get these little graphite brushes that are connected to the motors. So I bought up a new pair for like, I don't know, $10, whatever, and plug them in, no problem. But I had to have had that supply chain available in order for me to replace those brushes.
Right. So it seems like an easy fix, but it's only easy because the part is plug and play. If you don't have access to the part, now you're in real trouble.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, this guy gets it. Very nice.
Yeah. So it's just so surprising in Last of Us they had a working excavator after 25 years.
25 years. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I also watch these like engineering machining channels, and these things come in for repair because after however many thousand like extensions and then contraction, there's wear on this thing. This stuff doesn't stay cylindrical forever. You got to get in a machine shop and like weld in a new piece, cut it to shape, and
and if you really want it to last, you got to have like a maintenance schedule. So you're not like repairing it when it's totally busted.
Yep.
You repair it before it gets totally busted, so that things aren't seizing or like grinding. It's
right.
A lot of work.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Very nice, Alexander. Totally get it. Okay, the next one we have is for Star Wars: The Force Awakens. This is Rey's tally system. Oh yeah, this was how she was counting the days since she had fallen to the planet, if I remember.
I don't know what she was counting from. I think it's from when her parents left. And and she like what did at the scratch system, but without a cross slash.
Ah, that's right. And without the 5 grouping.
Yeah. And then even worse than that, because it's like she didn't like line up the scratches. So it's like this line and this line. So I could count. Like
you can't do like a multiplication thing. Like it's all unevenly spaced.
Yeah, there's like varying density.
Okay. So what are we? Okay. I can't get a video or a screenshot of this, but immediately before tally system scene where she uses a needle to write an image of a Jedi voodoo doll flashes for us.
Oh yeah. So I do remember that. There was like a voodoo doll in The Force Awakens, and we never hear of it again. Was that just Rey being crazy? Or is there Jedi voodoo? Was that supposed to be a thing?
I mean, Jedi voodoo it's on brand. we have like Force sensitive people that are effectively voodoo. I remember seeing a little doll and I was like, oh, cute, cute kids that like stuffed animals. But then actually she's doing like needles into the body stuff. Oh my gosh, this is psycho.
Yeah, my question for this was, I kind of wonder, is this going to be part of the lore and they abandoned it? Or is it still part of the lore and it's just happening in the background? Voodoo dolls, Jedi voodoo.
I think The Force Awakens was a J.J. Abrams. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
He's really good at making movies and putting in little breadcrumbs that later on you mine through and like, oh, we could spin up a movie off of this.
Right.
So maybe
that was one of those, but it never went anywhere.
What if all the Jedi like force push wasn't actually someone using the Force? It was like a different Jedi master doing voodoo and like punch a doll.
Oh geez, like there's like a puppet master looking over the galaxy.
It'd be wild. I wonder if that's in the Clone Wars, like the animated series. Maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, cool observation, Christian Josiah Perron. Last one. Share the screen. Last one is Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, season 1, episode 1. Captain Pike ignoring calls. Oh yeah, so this was he was all look at what a man, bearded up in the woods, and he's going through his mental trauma and mental stuff going on, and so but Starfleet's calling him, and they're like, "Hey, Captain Pike, we want you on here," and he's like ignoring it. He's like, "I'm talking to my girlfriend, I guess, at the time."
Yeah. So we thought this is such a baller move because, like, not picking up Starfleet. Like, come on now, Starfleet.
Yeah. It's like MIT called you. They want you to be a professor of physics, and I'm like, I'll take the call when I want to. Like, no. like I'm picking up that call right away. And if I'm so cool, so like important to the field that they're going to call me multiple times, like I'm doing real good.
If you have the confidence to be like, I'm eating dinner, I'll get to it when I get to it. You're like, damn, what kind of baller are you?
How many Nobel Prizes you got under your belt where people are calling you like, get to it later.
Yeah.
Okay, so Siona 5038. What a stupid comment. Oh.
Did not like our stuff.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's see what they had with this. So we said, what's wrong? What did we get wrong with our take? I don't know. Was it all irony and you did not mean what you said?
We did.
Okay. That didn't. Yeah. Okay, wait. So you didn't explain it. Okay, maybe they will. We were imagining being Pike and ignoring calls from Starfleet. We dream of being in Starfleet like future hell. I mean, that would be incredible if humanity got there. So to ignore the calls from Starfleet seems unimaginable unless we were Pike. Yeah, Pike is such a baller.
Yeah,
he's so elite.
Yeah, I mean breakfast.
Gosh, I wonder if there's not many starships, and I suspect, or I would think that there'd be a lot of people that want to be captains. Yeah. So I wonder what the threshold would be for Starfleet's choosing their captains. Like, if you have a little bit of problems, are they immediately like, we can't have you commanding a ship? So for Pike to be having mental health problems, which happens, stuff. We find out what happened in the show, and he had a traumatic event. He's working, he's going through it, he's figuring it out. Yeah. But for Starfleet to not be like, we can't trust you with command because you're not mentally stable, means he's really good. Like, he's a really good captain.
Really good, yeah. Like, he's got some troubles right now, but we need him. We can't not just next man up, next woman up.
Right.
In the captain's chair. He's going to become a desk jockey from now on, or retired out.
Yeah.
No. We need him now.
I mean, it's like a fighter pilot who loses his edge. Like, we can't put you in the cockpit anymore. Like, which we'll just assign you to other stuff. You can be important to other stuff, but we can't do that. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Same as the clips. Did you consider the situation he was in, how he felt, what he was struggling with?
I think that's true. I think it is, the scene is showing that he is going through some stuff, and that is a consideration. It's just for the military or an organization like Starfleet, they're like, well, if you're going through some stuff, well, you're out.
Yeah, or figure it out and then pass the psyche eval, then okay, but until then you're out. Like, yeah. But also, I mean, I guess that's not what we are addressing. Like, yeah, he is in the forest, he's going through some stuff, but what we're saying is that he's so impressive that Starfleet's like, no problem. Like, we still want you on command.
Right.
How would you have conveyed that in the scene in a better way that makes and keeps viewers interested? I don't know. It seemed fine to me. Yeah, I'm not trying to improve that.
Right.
If I considered that, not answering a few calls from whoever and not shaving for weeks during your off time seems pretty understandable to me. Oh, I mean, I'm jealous. That beard. Look at that beard. I didn't think that was like a psychological thing. I thought he was just living out, being mountain man.
Yeah, I agree with the commenter. Like, if it was a regular job and you're going through some stuff, maybe you don't care about that job so much, so you let the calls go. But this scene tells us he's going through stuff, and it also tells us he's Christopher Pike. That's kind of telling us those two things at the same time, which I think it did a good job.
Which is like really good storytelling to get both of those achieved at the same time. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, then we wrapped it up. We totally considered that. We decided that only a baller could ignore the phone calls. A lowly ensign going through similar emotions would probably get discharged from Starfleet if they were similarly ignoring important phone calls from command. Yeah, I mean, totally right.
Yeah.
You have like several hundred ensigns per ship, and he commands like, "Hey, we need your attention." Like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Like, you're out. Unless you had some specialty, some skill that Starfleet really couldn't do without, then Starfleet will bend rules for you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get one more, maybe two. Yeah, two more.
Okay.
Obviously, from NG Jenkins 557. Obviously, there are other captains on other starships. Yeah, but Strange New Worlds is about adventures on Captain Christopher Pike and his crew.
I mean, yeah, those adventures would stop short if Starfleet was like, "You're out. Not picking up our phone calls." So,
yeah, I guess. But we're saying that he's so impressive that even though he's going through stuff, working through it, figuring it out, Starfleet's like, we still want you. Like,
yeah. The show continues.
In fact, we're kind of going to push you out into the space before you're really quite done working them out.
You're so essential.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then last one, John C. 6035. What made him so baller? Not sure, but he's so baller that he ignores calls from Starfleet.
Yeah. What did make Pike so baller? When we did see these like amazing, like, I don't know what you call it, people management skills, where he's like taking people and putting them in positions to succeed, bringing people up when they need it, dressing people down when they need it. Like, impressive. I guess that's what they want him for, because captain doesn't really, it's not really a technical position in many respects.
Right. So for a long time, I was very strongly Picard. Picard's my captain because he's the administrator and he's level-headed. I like that stuff. But a lot of people, I guess maybe this is a generational thing, but a lot of people liked Kirk.
Yeah.
But I was always like, no, he's so aggressive, and not aggressive like combat, but aggressive and like not careful, like leap forward and do the thing, right? But I see it now. Like both of these of these personalities can do well on different types of ships.
That's right. And if command knows the personalities of their captains and their command styles, and command also puts them in the positions to succeed, it can be quite powerful. You have a diversity of like personality types at the command level. It'd be quite good.
So what did Pike do to make him so baller? To be honest, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And maybe it happened when he was in the previous Star Trek series. It was
Discovery.
Yep. So he did cool stuff there, although I don't remember what it was. But even then, he was already a captain, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, what was his origin story? What got him up the ranks? I don't know.
Yeah. But for some reason, Starfleet relies on him to do heavy stuff. He pulls it through. So,
isn't he like their #1 ambassador, something like that?
Something like that. I mean, with that Rongovian situation.
Yeah, exactly.
He got it done. I don't know if another captain could have done it in that way.
Okay, and then the last thing we have planned for today was I found this video. This video by, let's get his name here, Star Wars Apprentice.
Okay.
Did Palpatine actually save the galaxy? And I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen it, so let's check it out.
Let's do it. Oh, from the start.
Sheev Palpatine, master manipulator, destroyer of the Jedi, and emperor of the Galactic Empire. His name is synonymous with tyranny, but what if I told you he might have accidentally saved the galaxy?
It's
Hot take. But let's break it down.
Oh, cool logo.
Cool logo.
Before we dive into Palpatine's impact, let's set the stage. The Galactic Republic was, in a word, dysfunctional. Corruption infected the Senate, dragged on without resolution, and the Jedi, once protectors of peace, had become detached enforcers of a broken system. Trade escalated into blockades.
That's scary to me. That's scary to me that you could be totally just and doing the right thing, but the people who you are protecting, like they slide under your feet. Like I guess you're standing on unstable ground and you ended up getting weaponized. Like, scary.
Yeah. And how the principles of the Republic written down are like idealistic, but over time, like it degrades until it's not that good anymore. But like on paper, looks great.
Everything seems right, but then the actual practice of it is like didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get more.
Sectors suffered under bureaucratic gridlock. The galaxy wasn't just in chaos, it was teetering on collapse. Then Palpatine arrived. To most, he was a beacon of hope, a calm, charismatic politician from Naboo. But behind that facade lay a Sith Lord, engineering a conflict that would tear apart the galaxy. Palpatine manipulated both sides of the Clone Wars, orchestrating the rise of the Galactic Empire. At first glance, it seems like he plunged the galaxy into darkness, but did his actions set the stage for something greater? First, Palpatine unified the galaxy. Under the Republic, the galaxy was fragmented, divided by regional governments and political infighting. Palpatine's empire brought order, albeit through fear and oppression. For the first time in generations, the galaxy operated under a single authority. Hyperspace lanes were secured, piracy was crushed, and trade flowed more efficiently than ever. Yes, it came at a high cost, freedom, but a fractured galaxy may not have survived what was to come. Interestingly, this mirrors Palpatine's philosophy from the Book of Anger, where he states that chaos is the greatest threat to the Sith, and only through absolute control can a galaxy flourish. While his vision was twisted, perhaps there was a kernel of truth in his belief that order was necessary to save the galaxy from itself.
So
seem okay so far?
Yeah. So they talk about this in the Old Republic games, where it's like the Republic has got that the Old Republic way back then, like it was corrupt and horrible and awful because there was like slavery and bureaucratic, all this horrible outcomes, but on paper it looked great. And then the Empire was like, it was order, it was tyranny, but there was order and structure to society, which could be more prosperous than the chaos of the Republic.
Like the government could be overbearing, but also you've gotten rid of murder, you've gotten rid of starving people. Like it's prosperous, but also not good in a different way.
Right.
Second, Palpatine removed the Jedi's stagnation. The Jedi Order, as noble as it was, had grown rigid and blind to its own flaws. They failed to see the Sith rising right under their noses, and their unwavering adherence to outdated codes left them unable to adapt. This wasn't a sudden development, it had been brewing for centuries. Even Darth Bane's Rule of Two predicted that the Jedi would grow complacent, stating that they had become too focused on tradition rather than the realities of the galaxy. By purging the Jedi, Palpatine...
Gosh, I mean, the Jedi are a cult, right?
I mean, sort of. Okay. They're not a cult in the sense like the Force is real and they're doing real stuff.
True.
It's not like they're making stuff up. But they became cultish, where they're like insular and only talking to themselves. They're not out there interacting with people.
And if you're a Jedi that disagrees with how things should be done, they outcast you, ostracize. You're kicked out from the society. Like that's cult stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, okay. I see this in institutions in the real world where you have like heavy groupthink, and it's like ostracization. When a person disagrees like heavily, like what the heck. So Jedi may have, I think it was pretty clear they fell into that.
Yeah.
Over time.
It's easy to fall into. Very human.
Yeah.
Continue.
And force the galaxy to rebuild. Luke Skywalker's new Jedi Order, open to attachment and guided by hope, emerged as a more resilient Force organization. Could this have happened without the fall of the old Jedi? Perhaps not. Third, Palpatine prepared the galaxy for external threats. In the Legends timeline, the galaxy faced threats far greater than the Sith, the Yuuzhan Vong. These extragalactic invaders were brutal, relentless, and unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Palpatine may have foreseen this. Some fans speculate that he sensed the Vong's encroaching presence through the Force. The Empire's military...
Oh, gosh. If he did sense the approach of this alien species from outside of the galaxy, how could he have told that to the Jedi?
They wouldn't have listened.
Right?
Because the galaxy is all they know.
Right. And we've been like, you're Sith, you're Force sensitive and highly skilled. Oh, you're Sith. Like it's pretty quickly you're in our group or you're not in our group. And then how do you convince the Jedi that there's a weakness in how they're doing things? There's an external threat that you're not considering.
That's right. And the Jedi is so blind they couldn't see Palpatine, but they probably also couldn't see the external threat. So like, I listen to the Force, I can't see him. So They're so arrogant.
And then they have this Jedi culture that's like thousands of years old, and it's survived all this time. It must be survivable, but like there could be some stuff that breaks it.
Build up its Star Destroyers, TIE fleets, and advanced weapons gave the galaxy the tools it needed to survive such an invasion. Without Palpatine's war machine, would the galaxy have stood a chance? This military infrastructure also played a pivotal role in later conflicts, from Thrawn's campaigns to the defense against the First Order in canon. Fourth, Palpatine forced the rebellion to unite. Palpatine's reign was so oppressive that it sparked something extraordinary.
I mean, okay, that's true. It's like I'm going to be so evil that people are going to band up against me, and their society wins. Like, hey, I did that. Like, I did that for them.
I did that. I was so evil. I caused my enemies to band together. I did that. It's my. That's.
See how you're all friends now? That's me.
Yeah, that's me. In fact, I'm going to oppress harder. So you're friendly. You're going to be friends more.
More. You're going to form some lifelong bonds with my fist.
Without the Empire's tyranny, would the galaxy's freedom fighters have ever come together? His brutality galvanized heroes like Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, and Leia Organa to form the alliance that ultimately restored balance to the galaxy. Ironically, the Emperor's iron grip forged the unity that would undo him. It's almost poetic, isn't it? Without Palpatine's reign, there's no Rebel Alliance, no Luke Skywalker, and no fulfillment of the Chosen One's destiny. Of course, we can't ignore the
you got a bunch of wealthy people to band together. They never would have done that in the Republic. They've been looking out for their own bottom line.
That's right. Because the Republic survived for whatever many thousand years, and the rich people just get rich. Like
that's right. The Mothma family flying high, Organas, they're senators and flying high on Alderaan. They're banded together now because of me, the Emperor.
Yeah, so when they got their power reduced by Palpatine, then they're like, not cool, and then they formed a rebellion.
Yeah.
Destruction he caused. Billions died under his rule. Entire planets like Alderaan were obliterated. Species were enslaved, cultures erased, and the galaxy lived in constant fear. His reign also left scars on loyal Imperials,
But there was order, right?
There was order.
Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Right?
Yeah, pretty good.
Commander Iden Versio, whose betrayal during Operation Cinder highlights the personal toll of Palpatine's final devastating orders. And let's not forget, Palpatine's motives were never altruistic. Every decision he made was to serve his own lust for power. His achievements were byproducts of his schemes, not some master plan to save the galaxy.
I mean, it can be both, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be totally both. I mean, he wants power, but he also wants power to do the things to make the galaxy a better place. It's not mutually exclusive.
I mean, can we get everyone in the U.S. Congress to have no income for their entire term? Like, no, they're getting paid.
Right, they're getting paid.
Right.
The good that came from his reign was purely accidental. So, did Palpatine actually save the galaxy? It's a complicated question. On one hand, his empire brought order, eliminated stagnation, and created the conditions for a stronger future. On the other, the cost was unfathomable. Lives lost, freedom stripped, and worlds devastated. Maybe the real question is whether the galaxy needed to go through the darkness to find the light. Without Palpatine, would Luke Skywalker have risen? Would the rebellion have united? The Force, as always, found a way to restore balance, but Palpatine's role in that balance is one of Star Wars' greatest ironies. As the Emperor himself once said, everything that has transpired has done so according to my design. But was that design for the greater good, or just his twisted ambition? Palpatine saved the galaxy, sort of. Not because he cared, but because his actions forced the galaxy to confront its flaws and rebuild stronger.
That's true.
But what do you think? Was Palpatine an accidental savior, or is this giving the dark side too much credit? Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more.
So is it better to be super idealistic on paper, but then fall well short in reality? Like I want to be good, but it's not. The outcomes are not good. Or is it better to be a little bit evil, got some evil in there, but the outcomes are superior to the idealistic person? Which one is better? Is it the outcomes that matter, or your intentions that matter?
That is a question that each person needs to answer for themselves.
Oh,
it's kind of the answer, right? Because you get people that are like virtue, like I'm the best person, but then you see like my neighbors are suffering. That's their problem. Like, so for that person, they value the old republic or the republic, where people who had like the good morals, but then there's suffering around. Like people are not getting taken care of. But in the second opinion, there are people that are like, clamp down, society is strong. But then with that strong society, you may get people taken care of, but there's still going to be some people that slip through the cracks. And then also you're going to have a lot of freedom restrictions. You're going to have a lot of freedoms restricted. I don't know. Pros and cons. Depends on the culture. Depends on the person, what they value.
So what I'm hearing is that if I want to do evil stuff, if I can convince myself that and everybody else that I'm doing it for good, I'm golden.
That's right.
Let's go, baby.
Why'd you rob the bank? I did it for the kids. I got this one soccer team. I got 11 kids in the soccer team. They need new equipment. So I stole $11 million.
I got 5 kids to feed.
So I robbed the bank. And the bank's kids. Everyone in there.
That's right. They don't get their allowance this week. It's mine.
My kids. I'm doing it for them. Anyway, cool video. Cool video by Star Wars Apprentice.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next time.
Next time.